Hi class, this is Professor Harmony Kim. For this week, I will invite several guest speakers to provide the lecture of the investigation of human mind. In accordance to this course, some students will turn out to be minister or chaplain who serve in variety of situations. In this situation, people are under stress of one kind or another. Those stress can be resulted from suffering, hatred, and anger. So today, we will study how human mind operates, therefore, how humans can be suffered. Also, how hatred can be overcome. Also, how to deal with anger. These three subtopics you will study, and also you will hear some other expert or venerables speech so that you will better know about how you can serve people who are under stress of agonies. Let's think about suffering first. In Dhammapada, it says, mind precedes all knowable, minds their chief, mind made are they. If with a corrupted mind, one should either speak or act. Dukkha follows caused by that, as does the wheel of the ox hoof. This stanza explains all that we experience begins with thought. Our words and deeds spring from thought. If we speak or act with evil thought, unpleasant circumstances and experiences inevitably result. Wherever we go, we create bad circumstances because we carry bad thought. This is very much like the wheel of a cart following the hoofs of the ox yoked to the cart. The cart wheel, along with the heavy load of the cart, keeps following the draught oxen. The animal is bound to this heavy load and cannot leave it. So suffering depends on your thought, what kind of thought you carry. Therefore, based on that thought, your words come out and followed by action. So from now on, we will listen Venerable Rinpoche describe how human mind operates. Therefore, why humans have suffering. So let's watch his speech. I tried to upload Rinpoche's video in my lecture video, but according to copyright license, it is not allowed to do so. Therefore, you copy and paste this web address in your computer and you can safely watch The Nature of Mind by Sogyal Rinpoche. Once you complete to watch it, please come back to this lecture video. Now let's think about hatred. Hatred is overcome by only non-hatred. Never hear by enmity. Are those with enmity allayed? They are allayed by amity. This is the timeless truth. This stanza explains those who attempt to conquer hatred by hatred are like warriors who take weapons to overcome others who bear arms. This does not end hatred, but gives it room to grow. But ancient wisdom has advocated a different timeless strategy to overcome hatred. This eternal wisdom is to meet hatred with non-hatred. The method is of overcoming hatred through non-hatred is eternally effective. That is why that method is described as eternal wisdom. So we will listen to the lecture of how to overcome hatred spoken by Bhikkhuni Tuben Chodon. Again, you watch the Bhikkhuni Tuben's speech based on web address, and please come back to this lecture video. So, uncontrolled hatred can lead to harm. When a person holds that he was insulted, assaulted, defeated, or robbed, his anger continues to increase. The anger such a person has no way of subsiding. The more he goes over his imaginary trouble, the greater becomes his desire to avenge it. So, hatred can connected to anger. Now we need to think about how we need to deal with anger. I doubt that none of a person can be free from getting angry, especially under this stressful condition such as inflation economy. So getting angry might be kind of one aspect of natural phenomena, but how we deal with anger, that is important. So we will listen to Dealing with Anger by guest speaker. You will watch the video regarding Dealing with Anger by Don Smith, who is a secular Buddhist associate. Once you watch his speech, you can get some idea of how to be wiser, kinder, and how to be less stressed. I hope you can find your own way to deal with anger. So let's think about overcoming anger. Living in human society, people often quarrel with one another. When such conflict occurs, people often keep thinking about the wrongs done to them by others. When that happens, their anger tends to grow. But in those who forgive and forget the wrongs done to them, anger quickly vanishes. They are then at peace. So we will listen to the lecture of how to overcome anger by understanding anger. This time, Dr. Christian Conte proposed 5 keys to control anger. What are those 5 keys? Let's listen. Dr. Christian Conte's speech, so you will figure out the 5 keys to control the anger. So from the previous video, can you figure out there are 5 kinds of keys to control anger? The first one is don't be attached. Second, don't take things personally. Third, let things go. Fourth, be aware of what's going on in your body. The last key is learn how to say what's really going on with you. And we hear about lecture spoken by layman. This time we hear about anger by Venerable. The Venerable asks about, can you show me anger? And also Venerable provide potential tips to overcome anger. You can put time interval, sometimes days or several days, so that after time lapse, then the minds are changing. This angry mind can be calmed down. So let's watch how you understand your anger and then how you overcome this anger, spoken by Venerable. This Venerable is Om Swami, who reached Samadhi by way of yogic meditation. Let's watch the speech related to overcoming anger from the monastic's perspective. I hope you can get good source in which when you serve in variety of settings in which people are under suffering, hatred, and anger. So the quiz for this week is Dr. Christian Conte proposed 5 kinds of keys to control anger. I also stated that at the end of that video clip, but once you listen to his lecture, you can write down 3 out of 5 keys of how you can control anger. You can write down 3 keys to control anger and send them to my email address. So this week we study how we control our mind, mostly based on negative aspects such as suffering, hatred, and anger. And next week we will study more positive human mind. This is the end of today's lecture.